So right now in West Oakland, there are a couple of very, very interesting things that I'll point at. One of them being the opening after 14 years of development work of an enormous mixed purpose, affordable income housing complex, which was put together because a woman, Elaine Brown, had been the head of the Black Panther Party at one point. She left the party, became an extremely innovative developer, and vowed to create this building so that there would be living facilities, affordable living facilities in West Oakland for lower income people, and also for the incarcerated who were trying to return to society after they served their terms. She named the building the Black Panther. Almost within, it's within 2 blocks of her new building, there's another much older building, which was and now is slated to once again be the location of what's called Esther's Orbit Room. Esther's Orbit Room was the premier jazz venue in the Harlem of the West. And its existence radiated influence throughout the 2 or 3 continuous blocks around it. But when it was in its heyday, it did not have a gigantic barrier between itself and the waterfront. Today, it's got 2 huge barriers. A building that's the size of 4 blocks that does not serve the community, and the subway system called BART.
The overhead subway system.
Elevated trains. Yes. Mm-hmm. There's nothing they can do about that now. But another amazing woman who is a West Oaklander, Noni Sessions, has acquired the rights to rehab Esther's Orbit Room and the 2 or 3 buildings on either side, one of which is a building where the Black Panthers used to feed and teach children. So that qualifies it as a cultural zone. And there are city budget allocations, but it's actually a state program, it's not a city program, to establish these cultural districts in and around urban centers. So it is possible that the kinds of things that are being done now by Elaine Brown and Noni Sessions will continue to inspire other entrepreneurs and other innovators and reach a critical mass that will move the area into the protections of being a cultural zone, where then residents, old and new, will share a common vision of what life should be like there and what the quality of life should be. So that will create support for both the resurrection of older ways of living and integrate it with newer ways of sustaining resources. And technology, of course, will be a major piece of that puzzle that needs to be fit in correctly. Right now, though, high tech in this area basically generates younger, wealthier people looking for a place to live that suits their aesthetics and their personal ambitions. So all that needs to change. It needs to mature and become part of the community building dynamic instead of the upwardly mobile professional dynamic.
I see that you brought a photograph with you. Can you show it to us and tell us a bit more about it?
Well, this is one of my very, very favorite photographs. As an artist, it's a very unconventional image. It looks like it's been put together from parts. And in general, the compositional things about it are not very typical. When people think of photography, this is not the kind of image that jumps to their mind. This is also printed on metal. But what you're looking at here is the corner, the narrow pointed corner of what's called a flatiron building. Architecturally, those buildings are triangular. And I've been standing right in front of that corner and taking a picture of it. Now, the thing about this particular building is that it's a legacy building in its neighborhood. It started out as a gas station back in the 40s, but then it became a hot dog stand called Casper's Original Hot Dog. And it drew people from all over the community. And there are still people in the community today who remember going to Casper's when they were 5, 6, and 7 years old, holding the hands of their moms and dads and uncles and aunts. And just an enormous amount of social history in the memory, both official and unofficial, of Casper's. Well, Casper's, today, the building exists, but the business no longer exists. And you can't put an abandoned building in a Detroit or a St. Louis or in Oakland without having it tagged. Graffiti is, along with murals, an incredibly energetic enterprise in Oakland. I shoot a lot of surfaces that feature graffiti. What I want people to understand about the graffiti is that it's not the destruction of property. That's not the purpose of it. That's not why it's there. Graffiti appears because it's another constituency which has been denied recognition, appreciation, and support. And it is announcing its presence in defiance of continually being subdued, suppressed, and ignored. So I look at the markings on the buildings as if they were people standing on the street yelling out that they will not be denied or disposed of. It's protest art. But it also has developed its own aesthetics. So I'm attracted to it both as a message, as a symbol for the presence of a marginalized community, and as an artist. What I do when I make these kinds of pictures is to artistically capture those energies that are political and sociological and emotional and so forth. And then I try to exhibit the picture that I made in the community where I made the picture. So I give it back to the community, and I wanted to start that process of changing the way the people who already live there look at where they live. And that's why I like this picture so much, because it contains so many of the impulses that make me feel like I'm doing something significant, as a photographer. This
Thank
series
you so much.
is 5 or 6 years old now, ongoing. And one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the next big exhibit of the pictures that were made in the neighborhood being shown in the neighborhood.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Malcolm.
That's my
I
pleasure.
look forward to having more discussions with you so that the world can know about West Oakland and the vibrant community that still thrives there despite all odds.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thanks. we also have sister city activity going on in Europe and hopefully elsewhere, which we can learn about and learn from each other. So hope to do that with you.